in my mind, I will speak to ladies. I did not want to hurt myself, because in current dating, people are hurting themselves, by assuming you have been told, can you be my wife, when you have just been given a pendant.
There are people who tell, oh, marriage is easy, marriage is smooth. And they're like, those people are lying, because you are dealing with a sinner who has defeated God. Who do you think you are?
And communication, by the way, it's not just talking. On each and every issue. Is it finances? People think that it's only in marriage. You need to talk about that. Is it spiritual matters?
Hello, a very warm welcome to you, dear viewer. Thank you so much for finding the time to join with us once again at Talk, Share and Inspire. As I have previously mentioned, the youth of today are facing many issues, but we do not leave it at that. We want to bring into light those very issues and have conversations about them and find solutions and strategies or tips that you can go away with. Once again, I am your host, Erica Okeyo, and karibuni sana. That's how we say it in Swahili. Today, we want to talk about love. I am wearing a color that represents love. Also, I hear red represents love. Today, we want to talk about romantic relationships. You see, here in Kenya, there's this saying that goes, soko ni chafu. Soko is the market. They say the dating market it's dirty. To mean it's not so easy to find a good partner. Maybe that has been your situation. That is something you can relate to. But then I also remember the Garden of Eden. You see, when God had done creating man and he had said that everything was looking good, he saw Adam and God actually noticed that man was alone, and he thought it was not good for man to be alone. And God therefore made him a helper, meet for his needs. So it goes without saying that God cares about our heart condition, our romantic relationships. And so today I am joined with two people who have hacked romantic relationships, and they're going to tell us about their story. They're going to give us tips and strategies of successful courtship. Without further ado, allow me to introduce my guests. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much for coming. Drum rolls. Please introduce yourselves. Tell us what you do if you're not inspiring people.
Okay. My name is Marion Kemunto. Almost 5 years ago, Barake. And I'm a tax consultant. And I enjoy having these discussions and us just getting to learn from each other and encouraging people that soko doesn't have to be chafu for you, and actually marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yes. Awesome. Wow. Marriage is a beautiful thing. We are about to find out.
Yes, and my name is Matthew Barake. I am a management consultant, currently majoring in project management. I'm so happy to be here, and anytime I'm called upon matters, relationship and marriage, I think it makes me happy because of the current issues that we are facing in this generation, our youth, and even the people coming behind us. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. Thank you.
See, guys, we have a tax consultant and a management consultant, and they're now consulting on love. So, guys, let's just get right into it. Yes. You know, there's courtship, there's dating. Is there a difference? Maybe, Marion, do you want to go first? What is courtship?
Okay, so courtship, when people say they're in courtship, they have decided that they want to live together. So you have sat and I've gone round and looked, and you're like, this is the woman, this is the man that I want to settle with. And now you're walking towards marriage together. You're not yet married, but you're putting in place systems and like laying foundation for your marriage to come. So the difference between courtship and dating is, in courtship, it's one man, one woman having the same goal. In dating, you're just in the field trying to evaluate who is mine, who is not. So you can go out on dates with Erica, you can go out on dates with Marion, Mary, Margaret, and vice versa, James, Joshua, whoever. And then you're just trying to see where can this lead. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in courtship, in dating, you have a whole pool. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
You're looking at anyone and everyone.
Yes.
And then now with courting, you have chosen.
Yes.
The way Matthew chose. And they're like, this is the one I am, this is the one I'm walking this journey with.
Yeah.
All right. And Matthew, do you have a different definition?
No, I think just to add to what she has said is that courtship is more serious, and there's a lot of accountability in courtship. You will find that even the parents will be involved at some stage. Your accountability partners, is it from the church or your friends, they will be involved. But in dating, it's more casual, and there's no accountability really, whether you went a date with someone or not. And that's what we are experiencing more nowadays than courtship, even in people who want to get married, in my opinion. Yeah.
So, dear viewer, are you dating or courting? Have you streamlined it? Are your parents involved? Are your friends involved? Are you guys accountable? It's just the two of you. Are you going for dates where nobody even knows where you guys are? So you guys, tell us. Would like to listen to your dating or courtship story. You've been married for?
Almost 5 years.
Hey,
Turning 5 in December.
Clap for them wherever you are. Yeah, 5 years is, I think, a very significant mark. Tell us about your dating and courtship story.
Okay, I think his version is...
The versions are different, so we would want to hear both of your versions.
Yeah, so I think I met Marion, a quick one. I met Marion the year 2016, late 2016. She had finished college from the University of Nairobi. I was already working then, and I met her in church, but I didn't think there would be anything between us because it's just a normal youth who has come to church, and just I saw her. So the next year now, 2017, we got to meet officially because I think she was having an interview with one of the organizations, and she was told that I could prepare for interviews.
Hey.
And that's when
she
approached me. So just to make it clear, she approached me.
for the job interview.
Yeah, so, and we started the conversation then. So I prepared her for the interview. Good luck, she got a job. It was outside Nairobi. And then she could go and come to Nairobi more often. And I was a youth leader at Glory and SDA Church, but in welfare matters, youth welfare matters. So one time she comes back and she tells me, are you okay? She notes that there's a difference in me. Are you okay? I tell her, why are you saying that? She tells me, the first time I met you and the time I served with you at the pulpit, you are looking sharp, you are looking better, and now you're coming to church late. Is there something wrong with you? And for sure, I was going through a tough time.
Something was wrong.
Yes, there was. It was a period where I was going through a lot, and I saw this lady has managed to see that there's something wrong with me. So I think that's how it started, the beginning of it. And then at some point that year, she also got another interview with a firm now that is in Nairobi. So we did the same thing. I prepared her.
Hey.
She got the job. She came back to Nairobi. Some point now I was going for a work trip in South Africa. She told me, bring me something. That's when I came and I gave her some pendant, which has a heart and a key.
Hey.
Because by then we were talking more often now. I was getting to know her. I was getting to like her. I remember the date was 26th August. The year is 2017.
Wow.
So I told her, you go and interpret that. I think she'll pick up from there.
And the rest is history.
No, explain the history. We have time.
Yeah, anyway, so I think first of all, as we look at our dating experience, I was open to date then, and he was open to date, yeah. And when I noticed that he's not doing well, I wasn't noticing with regards to I am eyeing this man. It was just genuine brotherly and sisterly love, yeah?
So what I'm getting from the genuine brotherly and sisterly love we don't just wake up and we are courting.
Yeah.
There should be a friendship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and through the interview process, we created a friendship, and together we started praying together and like doing the lesson studies together. Yeah. So just building the friendship. Yeah. So when he gave me the pendant, in my mind, I will speak to ladies, I did not want to hurt myself, because in current dating, people are hurting themselves, by assuming you have been told, can you be my wife, when you have just been given a pendant, So definitely, I'm a wise woman. I saw it's a pendant and a key, and the interpretation would be romantic relationship, but I chose not to interpret it that way. Yeah, so fast forward 6 months later, all this through the 6 months, we were very good friends. Now, when I came back to Nairobi, our friendship even became very close. He would pick me up from work. We would do like dinners together. Yeah, just spend time together and get to know each other.
I would wait for 2 hours to pick her, and yet she told me it's supposed to be 10 minutes. So I'm seated there, I'm waiting 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Mwanaume lazima
Very
ngoje.
important.
Patience.
Yeah. You have been a Christian long enough to understand that. 10 minutes is prophetic.
Yes.
It's not literal.
Yeah, so we're close for 6 months. He hasn't officially asked me to be his girlfriend. And for me, I wanted everything to be clear, not my assumption in mind, yeah?
Pause for 1 second. You know, there's something that you said, and I thought it's good for us to re-echo. You've said our biggest problem is you assume that there is a relationship when there is none. I had someone call it premature heartbreaks, that most people go through premature heartbreaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no relationship, there was a friendship, and you assumed, and I want her to continue. You see, at this point, it's been 6 months, she's not been asked out. She's a wise woman, as she has said. Yes, please now tell us about your wisdom.
Yeah, so I'm a wise woman and I'm a Christian. So I went to the Lord in prayer. I'm like, Lord, like this is one guy we have been very close to. I have watched him and I think he can make to be a good husband. The values he has are things I would uphold, yeah? And you remember back in the 26th of August, that day we had a conversation. And one thing I really wanted in a husband was someone who is honest. And like when I asked Matthew, what are you going through? He poured his heart out to me in a way that showed me he's actually an honest guy. Yeah, so I prayed to God and like, my God, I give God of ultimatums, yeah? So I'm like, God, it's been almost 6 months. So if by 28th of February, this guy has not asked me out, I will just walk out and be like, that's a sign from you that this guy is not my guy. Yeah, and 26th of February, he calls me and now
26th August, 26th February.
Yeah.
Exactly 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so he
Exactly
calls me.
6 months.
Yeah,
Noted.
he calls me and he's like, today I'm not picking you. Will you come to Westlands? We have a meetup there. Yeah, so I went there and he asked me officially to be his girlfriend and I accepted.
Wow.
So now I knew I am in a relationship, and from that day when he asked me to be his girlfriend, now we moved from dating to
now
courtship, because
right.
we discussed and we are like, we want this to work and we want to end up in marriage. Yeah.
Okay. So
One most important thing is that on that day, I was very clear. I told her, I want us to end up in marriage. That's it. Because the 6 months was just to evaluate, to pray about it, and to see if we can be a good fit. And then officially now asking her to be my girlfriend was a point of no return. Can we now take this to the next level, even to marriage?
Yeah.
wow,
Yes, yes.
I love that. And some of the things I've picked from this, as I'd mentioned before, it begins with a friendship, all right? People build a friendship, and then God has to be in it. Remember, as I'd mentioned, God saw that it was not good for man to be alone. Sometimes the problem is you sit down and you're like, it is not good for me to be alone. And you run yourself into a heartbreak.
Yeah.
I love the fact that throughout the process, God was in the story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing I want us to talk about, what are some of the things in the courtship, okay? There is no marriage yet, courtship, dating. What are some of the key things that strengthened your relationship together?
Okay.
I think I can start.
Yeah.
For me, it was the daily prayer. I remember we prayed every day together. up to the time we got married.
Wow.
We prayed even at the period when we were not talking to each other. When when you have issues in relationship and all that.
So people actually have issues in relationships.
Yes, yes. There are quite a number of.
We'll get there. We'll get the challenges.
So, but we prayed every day. I remember I went for a job outside the country, and that time it was earlier 2018, and it was 10 weeks of prayer. We did that every day together, and that strengthened our relationship. It was key for us.
Awesome. Prayer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that we don't look like a boring couple where we are opening LNG White and Bible. We also did fun activities together. One of the, now we can't do it, but then we will wait for Terrific Tuesday, and we go to Pizza Inn, buy one, get one free.
Yeah, Pizza Inn is a pizza place here in Kenya.
And get pizza.
Our audience is global, so it's very important for us to mention that.
So we get pizza and we get 2 liters of soda. As we drive home with the traffic, by the time we get home, it's like 2 slices of pizza that are remaining. So like we will also do fun activities. Another thing that also strengthened our relationship, we were serving together. And actually many people didn't know we were dating when we were serving together, because he was welfare.
By serving together, you mean
in church? Yes, in church. So he was welfare, I was social. So those 2 things just go hand in hand. So we will organize
social Sundays.
Actually, I think when social and welfare are a couple, things are perfect.
Wow.
Because we really enjoyed that season of serving together. And through managing a whole group, you can be able to see each other's weaknesses, each other's strengths. You can be able to know anger management for someone and all. So it was through fun activities and also study together.
And I think another important thing to highlight there is don't date in secret. Date someone that people know, people can see, and I mean, you are able to interact with a big number of people in a social Sunday, in a church setup, or even outside. And so you're able to see, how does this person actually relate with other people? So guys, it goes without saying that courtship has challenges. I once had a pastor say that, there are people who tell, oh, marriage is easy, marriage is smooth. And they're like, those people are lying, because you are dealing with a sinner who has defeated God. Who do you think you are? So there are challenges in courtship. Have you guys encounter those challenges? I'm sure you have. So this is the time to share with us, and also tell us, how did you overcome the challenges?
Okay. We had some challenges, definitely. One was communication. So he prefers, if we have had misunderstanding, we sit and talk about it. I prefer that we wait, I go evaluate and see if I'm wrong or he's wrong. I come with the receipts of the facts, so that when we sit down, I can point out. It's just, so that is one of the challenges we overcome. One that was very, very like personal, and that one I even cried and went to the Lord, is when around 2019 he was unwell. And when I heard that he was unwell, like when I went to the Lord, I was like, am I becoming a widow before I even become a wife? No, because he was so unwell. But we thank God. And
I was far away.
And
alone.
He was far away alone.
So
we were able to walk through that, and here we are, we can say,
Okay. Have you, was it same challenges or different challenges?
I think this is not cliche. We are told that we say sorry for what we have not done. We have not done anything wrong, but we get to say sorry. I did that a lot of times, because she's somebody who can do something, and for sure she's on the wrong, and she'll go for 4 days evaluating whether she was on the wrong. To end this issue that is between us, I have to say, okay, I'm sorry. Can we now move on? And I think that was one of the biggest learning points for me. Patience, getting to understand your fiance. By that time, now it's my wife, so I learned not to mix the two.
Guys,
so
yes.
Yeah, so I think that was one of the biggest challenge. And then another thing I remember, there was a time when we didn't talk for 4 days, but most importantly, we prayed together. It was a communication issue. I think every relationship starts and ends with communication. Yeah.
I want to be a little bit controversial and get your opinion on something.
Yes.
You see, as I had said, soko ni chafu, meaning the market is flawed. There are so many problems, okay? With the way things are going, I have had people say, as it is now, it is okay for a woman to approach a man. If you think he's slow, if you think he's not making the move, what do you guys think?
The man, do you think I would have approached you? Now since you say I'm the one who...
if you ask me that, I say, yes, I was approached.
You approached for an interview.
For an interview, yeah. But yeah, to put it clear is that I think people are different and they have different temperaments. There are people who are sanguines, there are people who are more reserved. A man can like you, but they don't know how to express themselves. And we are living in a community, and this is the sad reality, especially in Africa, and in the setting we are, the girl child is getting more empowered than the boy child. So you find the girl child is more outspoken than the boy child. And because of that, you find that a gentleman can like you, but they cannot tell you. For me, I don't think it's wrong for the lady to express how they feel to someone, but only if they have all the hints that this guy could actually be in love with them and they are not able to say that. And also getting to learn this person from the past. Is it somebody who could say that they want to be in a relationship or not? I think it's okay for me.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I think it's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know it's against the brothers' code, but
men's
for
conference,
sure,
you're banned.
for sure, yeah, for sure.
You are dismissed from men's conference.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah.
Marion?
I will absolutely say there's nothing wrong with where the society is right now.
Where is this society?
The society, the society is in a space where I feel men are a bit timid. Yeah. So it's okay. Okay, I would say let women be tactical so that the man can also feel like the leader in that relationship. Yeah. So please go for it, lady. If we can chat and just know how we can help you to usibaki peke yako na unaweza.
Guys, I think I have a different opinion. I have a very different opinion on that. This is my worry. I accept that, yes, times are going, the girl child has been empowered. It's very true, right? I'm also waiting to see men who would come up and empower the boy child.
Yeah.
I am waiting to see that.
Yep.
Number one. Number two, this is what I think is the risk, in my opinion. I think if you start off the engine, you'll keep that engine going
running
until we get there.
Yeah.
That is the risk that I say is associated with it. This is what I think. You can present yourself,
put yourself
as a living sacrifice. You see, for instance, what was the name of this lady? Is it Ruth? Yes. Ruth placed herself in a place that Boaz could find her. You know, she was in the field gleaning, picking wheat and things like that. I am of the opinion that present yourself as a living sacrifice.
What if Boaz is not seeing?
Boaz will see.
What if he's not seeing?
I believe Boaz will see. Yeah, but then because of time, I want us to give it another tangent. Those were our opinions, of course.
Yeah.
But you see, in courtship, there's communication.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that you guys have different ways of communicating when it comes to conflict. So very fast, because time, of course, is proving not to be on our side, give us tips. Matthew, I have known you to be a peacemaker. Yeah. Please give us tips of conflict resolution in a relationship.
Okay, number one is getting to understand your person. That's key to getting to understand your person. Like, for example, my wife is an ambivert. It's between extrovert and introvert, depending on how she knows you.
So there's let's just, maybe for someone who doesn't understand, if someone has an ambivert personality, it comes to a time where they just want to retreat and sit by themselves. And there's a time they're very social and And
because of that, over time, I made sure I understood her, and because of that, I would give her grace even when she doesn't want to talk back to me. I do not want to put her in a position where she hurriedly wants to resolve an issue when she wants to take her time. And because of that, maybe in marriage, I know this is not our life in marriage, it's in courtship. In marriage, it has helped us because I would give her time until she wants to talk about it.
So Matthew, you're saying whatever you do in courtship is the same thing that you will replicate in marriage.
Yes.
So this courtship should be as
it's a preparation.
It's
a preparation for marriage, and that's why it's courtship. It's different from dating. It prepares you for marriage. I think that's number one. Number two, communicate. And communication, by the way, it's not just talking on each and every issue. Is it finances? People think that it's only in marriage. You need to talk about that. Is it spiritual matters? Is it personal growth? Is it everything revolves around communication? How do you communicate about that? Because you can give an illusion to your partner that you are well off when you are not, and when you are struggling. So it's important for them to know that.
As you evaluate, as you date people and now settle to a person who is now your fit, just have your sensible, lack of a better word, bare minimum, yeah? Yes, so I think that is like something that is very important. And then go be of one mind and of one purpose. So let not be, you are courting this person, but you're still looking for a good person for yourself. Yeah. So if you're of one mind, of one purpose, you'll be able to solve conflicts, you'll be able to grow in love, and you'll end up in marriage.
Awesome. Wow. Of course, 30 minutes is never enough to comprehensively speak about romantic relationships. So I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to give a parting shot as we close this. Actually, 5 seconds. Actually, 2 now.
Okay. Love is a beautiful thing, yeah? And I pray that everyone who is seeking love to find it, yeah, just be purposeful and be reasonable about it. Do not look for, lack of a better word, Karen, and you are in Kino, yeah? Just be reasonable about it, because we are in a situation where ladies want men who have already accomplished, but they don't want old men. So just be reasonable about it, and you will get love. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, for me, one of the most candid advice I would give to ladies and gentlemen who are dating out there and expecting to get in courtship is that there is no better person. You only meet a person, and of course there's the bare minimum that she's talked about. Once they've met that, everybody has their flaws, but everybody is beautiful in one way or the other. So just meet and make it what you want. But leaving one relationship for another because you are going to look for another better person, you won't find them. You will keep on doing that, and eventually you will never find that perfect person.
Wow.
You'll actually end up with like the lowest standards. People will wonder, this one.
So yeah, as you said, it's not better outside.
Yes.
It reminds me of one of the quotes that I once read that says, the grass is greener where you water it, not on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as long as God is in it, please build it. As long as the Lord is in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the Bible also says that unless the Lord builds the house, the builders build in vain.
Yeah.
So we pray that the Lord is going to be the foundation of your courtship. And if the Lord is in it, you can overcome the flaws, you can overcome the communication problems, the boundaries, everything that you're struggling with. God bless you, and see you once again in another episode of Talk, Share, and
Inspire.
Bye-bye.
Bye.